How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I made a recent video talking about the Knight and how I really didn't like them and didn't think they were that good. And a lot of great discussion was had, and a lot of people brought up how good the Knight was and, you know, how much they like it, and that's totally fine. It's not about me proving you wrong or trying to tell you what you should and shouldn't like. It's just a discussion. But it did bring me up to the idea of comparing the Knight to the Dragon, which a lot of people, my response was the Dragon does exactly what the Knight does, but better. And I kind of want to go into detail and explain my reasoning, and then you guys can give me more thoughts and opinions on why I'm right or wrong, or why you agree or disagree, and we can have another discussion, which is super fun, super cool to get other inputs and opinions on things, because, you know, it's just, that's the fun part about games like this. So, we got the Knight, you know, and I said the Knight wasn't that great. Well, so here's how I'm going to compare the Knight and the Dragon. And some of you are going to say, well, it's not really fair comparing the Knight to a Dragon because the Dragon's a beast. But it's going to be mostly the skill set I'm going to be comparing and what options I have here, obviously. Because, you know, Dragons don't get access to armor or weapons or finishers. But honestly, I don't really look at that so much for units. I look at their skills, like their classes. Like when I look at a class, I look at what's here. I don't look at what gear they can equip, what weapons they can equip, what finishers they have for the weapon necessarily. I mean, I'll consider that when it gets to it. But when I'm looking at a class and seeing what makes them unique and if I want to play them, this is where it's unique, right here. This and their spells. So the White Knight, we love the White Knight's the best. But anyway, the Knight can heal, and that's about it for its spells. You know, and then we do have access to a few weapons, not a lot, so that's kind of not the point of the Knight, really. I mean, you know, I've heard of people using Knights with bows and all that good stuff, but I have a hammer on mine. You know, Steadfast is nice to have. Rampart Aura, you know, we can go over the skills, but the build I run, and the build I'm comparing to my Dragon, is we got Rampart Aura, because everybody likes to lock down stuff with the Knight and hold a front line. HP, because you want to take more hits, and the good old Phalanx, reduce damage by 80%. So we look at the Knight's HP, and it's 1781 with an HP boost. We got Phalanx, Rampart Aura, and then their weapon. So this is the Knight that I run, and, you know, this is probably the Knight a lot of people run. Phalanx, Rampart Aura, you know, maybe HP if you're trying to be more tanky. Now, the Vitality is 199, you know, let's go look at my Dragon. And we can see we got Rampart Aura, HP, Phalanx. Oh wait, Dragon Scales. So, Dragon Scales is... I don't know if I can, like, really put this any other way, but it is superior to Phalanx in every regard. It literally does everything Phalanx does, except it also reflects all damage taken to the attacker. Now, it's only 70% instead of 80% reduction. But honestly, when you have 3,265 hit points compared to the Knight with 1,781, we basically have double the hit points on a Dragon. And a lot of people were saying Knight can take a lot of hits and it's tanky. I would argue the Dragon's more tanky solely by the fact that you have almost double the hit points. And as if something hits you with an AoE or whatever, if you're in the range of that and you get hit, you're going to not only reduce the damage, but you're going to reflect it to the attacker, which is super huge. The Knight can't do that. The Knight has no way of doing that. The Knight just gets hit, and that's it, you know? If it wasn't for Dragon Scales being here, if the Dragon had no option to have a similar, you know, skill to Phalanx, I might not be having this discussion with you, but this carries the Dragon. You can do some crazy synergies. You can do some crazy tactics. You can literally defeat the last boss in the game by just having an all-Dragon army and just sitting there and letting Reflect kill it. You can passively just sit there. Like, that's insane. That is literally a tactic a lot of people have used to beat the last boss. And I partially used it because I had, like, 2 Dragons in my party, because one of mine, I lost my Hydra and I didn't realize it. And I actually killed the last boss with Reflect. I mean, he was already low, and he did an AoE, and it hit my Dragon, and I'm like, how did he die? And I'm like, oh, Dragon Scales. Dude, wow, okay. You know, so this alone just outclasses the Knight. And then it's so nice to have a breath. If you get a good Dragon that has a breath you want, having the ability just to inflict breach in an AoE, that on the front line, because my Dragon's going to be on the front line, just like my Knight would be, is insane. Yeah, my Knight can do breach too, but he has to have a Claymore, and it's only single target. So, the argument can be made, though, that eventually the knight outscales the dragon because of gear, and once you get into Coda and stuff, you know, you get level 50. Obviously, the dragon can't scale anymore once it's 50, you know, unless you, even with the one little accessory you give it. So you can make the argument that the knight has that option to scale a little bit higher. But I've heard people that have literally maxed out the knight with the best gear, the best weapons, and they don't even see that much of a difference. I literally had people in the last video comment similar things. Now, I can't attest to that because I never did it. So I don't want to give a clear cut, you know, like this is what I've experienced, and you know, but many people said the knight still isn't that great, even with the best gear and the best everything. And then I've had people tell me the knight, you know, hits really good, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I would rather use any other class than a knight to deal damage. I don't think of the knight as a damage dealer. I would almost think the dragon does more damage, but I don't even think of the dragon as a damage dealer. Dragons do like no damage in the game. They do almost nothing in Reborn compared to like the PSP version. They're literally just little, you put them in your army so the AI focuses them, basically. You just put them up in the front and get them in the AI's face and make them an easy target for the AI to attack to like distract the AI. That's what I did. And that's pretty much what my dragons were. And I don't know why. Did I use up all my items on this guy? That's weird. No items on him. But at the end of the day, you know, it's your guys' opinion. And I'm not here to tell you the knight is wrong or you're wrong. Because, you know what? It's a single-player game. Enjoy it how you wish. But I truly believe in my heart of hearts that the dragon is superior to the knight in every way. And it's only because of dragon scale. But that's all. And, well, and the double the HP. And, you know, I mean, come on. If you're going to be tanking, you're going to be on the front line, you need hit points to take hits. So you guys, tell me why you think the knight is better than the dragon. I really would love to know. And, you know, see more insight into this. But as far as it goes right now, my mind is locked on dragon is superior to knight in almost every way. Except maybe the knight can heal, I guess. But, I mean, just give the dragon items and it can heal. But you know, with this build, this is the exact same build that's on my dragon, except instead of a hammer skill, there is the acid breath. So my dragon even has higher vitality, 199 to I think 225 or 261. Wow, that's a huge vitality difference. And keep in mind, these are both neutral units that I never trained up. I never fed stat cards to. I never picked up stat cards, the little green cards. You know, I sometimes got them, but a lot of the times I had to go out of my way to get them, and I just wanted the battle over. And they were so negligible in this game, you know, compared to the first one, how much you really get, that you have to get quite a bit to even get. You got to get like what, 2 or 3 just to get 1 point. Or something like that, maybe 4 to get 1 point in a stat. And I was just like, I'm good. I don't need them. It's fine. But anyway, I could ramble here for a while about this topic, and I don't want to do that. I try to keep these videos short. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, let me know down below how you feel about the 2 classes. Which one do you prefer? I just, you know, I figured I'd go a little more deep into it because a lot of people had a lot to say, and I appreciate it. I hope you guys have even more to say and more to discuss with me because, hey, this is a great game, and I feel like keeping it alive and talking about it and having, you know, discussions. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you made it this far in the video, and if you did, thank you so much for the support, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, later guys. Peace out. Have a good one.